Makes it a great place to begin if you're looking to engage in some water sports such as renting a jet ski, powerboat, or like football. When born, the sea lion pups weigh about 15. The large gray ship behind the receivers is a John Lewis class refuel and resupply ship, part of the Navy Sea Lift Command. You can see a number of brown pelicans on the receivers, which is great to see. Those brown pelicans were on the verge of extinction back in the 1970s due to the use of a chemical called DDT. Actually made their eggs extremely brittle. Currently out on deployment is CBN number 71, the Theodore Roosevelt, as well as CBN number 72, the Abraham Lincoln. Now, all of these Nimitz-class aircraft carriers have a service life of 50 years and a unit cost of $4.5 billion. Each one weighs over 100,000 tons, which if you do the math is over 220 million pounds. They're 252 feet wide, 1,092 feet long. That makes them large enough to play 3 football games simultaneously on the flight deck of a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. In fact, as the Carl Vinson comes into profile view, at 1,092 feet long, this vessel is longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall. And you may remember at the beginning of this tour, I told you guys about a height restriction placed on our buildings here in town due to the close proximity of our airport. You don't happen to remember that number, it's actually 500 feet. What that means is if we were to take this vessel, CBN number 70, the Carl Vinson, out of the water, stand it on its end in the middle of downtown San Diego, at 1,092 feet, it would be more than twice as tall as every single building on the San Diego skyline. Now, it does not look like that should be true, but that is the math. Nimitz-class aircraft carriers carry upwards of 85 aircraft. You can actually see one of those aircraft mid-ship on the George Washington there. With the help of a steam-powered catapult system, those aircraft are able to travel from 0 to 160 miles per hour in just 2 seconds. These Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are considered by the Navy to be the single largest weapon on the planet.
And then you're going to have a whole bunch of buildings in front of the Hyatt, about 70 specialty shops and restaurants in all, and they all belong to Seaport Village. The buildings in front of the Hyatt resemble a New England seaport, while those coming up here at the edge of the bay with the orange tile roofs resemble a Spanish seaport. Seaport Village is open 7 days a week. Hey, you may notice there's a few people flying kites on this point of land. You've got some blue hulled boats tied up on this side of the pier. These are boats that catch bait fish for use by San Diego sport fishing fleet. They deposit those bait fish at the storage receivers where we saw the California sea lions. In a moment, you're going to be looking at a green roof building that's extending out over the edge of the bay. This is the Fish Market Restaurant, and it's considered by a lot of people to be San Diego's premier seafood restaurant. Downstairs is casual dining, you don't need a reservation, but upstairs is fine dining, so reservations are a must. North of the restaurant is going to be a black and white statue made from a very famous photograph taken at the end of World War II. The statue is called Unconditional Surrender, and it resides in the Bob the Hope Pavilion. Lastly on your tour, number 41, the USS Midway Aircraft Carrier Museum. The USS Midway was built and launched at the end of World War II, but it didn't see any service during that war. It was actually launched a little after the war ended. It served in Korea, Vietnam, and the first Persian Gulf War Desert Storm. In fact, it was the flagship for the U.S. Fleet for Desert Storm, and after that, it was decommissioned and retired. It was put up for auction, and San Diego won the bidding for it to be home ported here as a museum. It's been rated the 4th best museum in the United States by both Travel Zoo and Travel Magazine. The Midway Museum and the San Diego Zoo are San Diego's top 2 tourist attractions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, this does wind up your harbor tour for the day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you liked everything you saw, and I hope that you loved the narration that both Brian and I provided for you.